Hey Seth, how are you? Hopefully I get the delay out today. I'm not sure. I made some switches. So tell me if there's a delay. Not in my voice or me speaking, but in my playing. Let me know. Hey Robert. Okay. Any delay in the playing? It looks like there is. Okay, not a problem, Seth. Hey Seth, we're going to do some double bass drums today, plus the workbook. Do you have any intention in the future of getting double pedals? I mean, it's not necessary, but it'd be nice if you did. Because everybody does have the PDFs. Okay, you have any questions, Robert, about yesterday with the double bass drum exercises? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do stick control book with my harmonically with the hands and the bass drum as 1 and 2 and as a warm up. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, line 2. 2 and 2 and 3 and 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Line 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2. So on and so forth. Let me read what's here. Well, that's okay. All right. Like I said, you missed yesterday's lessons, right, Seth? What I've been doing was taking in the workbook the ostinato patterns 1 through 5, and we did 4 of each. Now I want to continue on that. I'll review the 1 through 4, and we'll go to 8 or 10 on each one. Now I know that you can place most of these, but it's always good to revisit and review. So let's go to number 1, and let's try working down 1 through 10. Now remember the exercise, the warm-up exercise. You're dropping a 2 and 4 backbeat on the snare. Okay, you're playing the right hand on the hi-hat, and as the warm-up, we're doing the bass drum 16th notes, like so. Now you do that for 3, 4, 10 minutes. Okay? Now number 1, it's like almost like the grid. You're taking the bass drum, you're putting it on 1 and 3, the E of 1, the E of 3, the and of 1, and of 3, the dub 1, and dub 3. Now, what I'd like you to expand upon, other than playing it like this, is left-handed. 1, 2, 3. Now left-handed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Line 2. and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and so on and so forth. Oh, Matt, get it together. All right, left-handed, right-handed, and left-handed. And you can play them right-handed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. But it's important you keep that up, down, up, down, up, down, up. It's best now to really go into the left-handed side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. So try them left-handed. That's your weaker side. All right, we expand now to number 5. Number 5, the bass drum is on 1E and 3E. Now all this time I'm not thinking musically, I'm thinking mathematically, and I'm counting 1E and the, okay? So you have 1E and the 2E and 3E and the 4 and 1E and the 2 and 3E and 4 and left-handed. So on and so forth. You get that, guys? Any questions? That was number 5. We're going to go to number 6. The bass drum is nailing on 1 and 3 and. You get that? So you want to, the object of today's lesson is get down the first page, 1 through 10, right-handed, and then left-handed, and then right-handed, then left-handed. If you're having difficulty with it left-handed, spend a lot of time until the left and the right become equal. Okay? So, you know, we're all right. Most of us here are right-handed drummers. So it's unusual, it's an unusual feel to do it left-handed or open-handed if you want to call it that. But you're better off doing 1 through 10, right side, 1 through 10, left side. Do that for 10, 20 minutes. You're not trying to prove anything. All you're trying to do is get better. And that's that weaker side that you're making stronger. But I find, and this is not contradictory to anything, but this is just a thing that I find. The more I work on the left side, the stronger the right side becomes. Because it's just different. It's a natural thing to be right-handed to lead with the right. But you want to do the left hand so that you get that strength. Do you agree, gentlemen? So you're working on the right side and you're working on the left side. Now, I don't want to go too much because there's only 3 of us in here, and it's not even 1 o'clock yet. So, what I would like, if you have any questions, if you have any questions on anything that we've done, please present it now so we'll have some time to really address the questions. Any questions, Seth? Any questions, Robert? On anything? Seth and Robert, anything you want to go over? Let's just wait for a couple more people to get in the chat. I just hope this You know, it's not very good for you to go back and watch the video when it's all out of sync. I don't know what to do, and I'm trying. Well, there's Dom Famularo called my house maybe 3 or 4 times. I shouldn't get into it, but I'm going to. See, I don't really agree with Dom Famularo. Yeah, he's saying the weaker side. Well, that's fine. The intention is good. I don't have much respect for a person like that, his playing and his technique and his approach. It all comes down to somebody being full of shit. Okay? But hey, if with his contents, if they're going to help you, go with it. I don't agree with it. Anyway, on Facebook, there was somebody posted, who would you like to have to be your teacher if you had your choice? And somebody mentioned his name. And I just said, stay away from him. And boy, oh boy, World War IX happened here. But that's okay, I dealt with it. You see, I think he happens to be one of the greatest motivational speakers in the world. His technique, well, that's another issue. But, and you know, I don't like anybody who lies. Now, he told me he studied with Joe Morello for 9 years, which I know firsthand is bullshit. He only had maybe 2 lessons with Joe Morello. So, you know, why lie about something? I told him he should get his money back from everybody. And you might think he's great. You know, at first, I saw him one time in clinic. And I think that, I'm saying, what's so great about this guy? Until he did his double bass drums. Now, the guy worked hard, getting nice feet. But that's all been buried now. Okay? Only because guys, the up-and-coming guys, Terry Bozzio, Dennis Chambers, Chris Coleman, all those guys. I mean, they're like, wow. So it kind of puts him in the back seat. But he's just a motivational speaker. Well, the weak side is to work with the weak side. That's what I recommend. You know, everything I do, see, you're conditioned. You know, you're right-handed. So you grab a cup with the right hand. You get a fork to eat with the right hand. You drink some water with the right hand. Everything is done right-handed, and your left hand is like on a little bit vacation. It's saying, okay, that's cool. Let the right hand do all the work, and I'll chill out. If you reverse it, you know, I'm not saying eat with your left hand or drink with your left hand or pour coffee with your left hand. No. But that does help. Now, as far as the weaker side, you know, I've given you, I don't know what, hundreds and hundreds of different exercises to strengthen the left-hand attack. And the first lesson of stick control book, the full stroke or the half stroke or the quarter stroke. You know, the way George Lawrence Stone, you know, not promoted that, but the way he presented it was to develop the right and the left. And the way he intended it was make the right hand and the left hand sound the same. That's all you need to do. You know, you have a right-handed set. Your right hand is, the floor tom-tom is on the right side. I've played on left-handed sets. Woof, what a journey. It was unusual. What I recommend is like you're vamping with the left, you're playing against it. You're vamping with the right hand on the floor tom-tom, you're playing against it. You equalize in both sides. You only know what the weakness is. Okay? Obviously, it's something that, you know, your right is stronger than your left because you're so used to it. So you just reverse that. You know, playing these patterns. Number one, if you really want to work it, I would take the RL and saying, okay, if I'm going to play the first guy, the bass drum on the 1 and 3, I play one measure because it says right. 1, 2, 3. Now it says left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do the whole line like that. Then it reverses itself to line 2. You might see this with line 3. 1, 2, that's right. Right. Now the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Right. 1, 2. By doing it that way, I mean, you don't have to run the whole stick control book down. But hey, if you want to do it, do it. It's not going to hurt. But doing that way, you're equalizing the workload. You're equalizing the strength of the right side and the left side. And that's one way that I developed the right and left side. You know, moving around a right-hand drum set, you know, it's so easy. It's set up to lead with the right. But we did the turnarounds. The turnarounds, like you don't have the triplet turnarounds yet. I didn't send them to you. But the turnarounds themselves are going to help you right side and left side. You see what I mean? How about you there, Seth? Anybody that's watching this, please get into the chat. Say hello. Make friends with whomever you'd like. But that's a good way to do it. For example, I use the stick control book for everything. Let's take a 5-stroke roll. Now I'm going to play it not up, but I'm going to play in 30 seconds to an eighth. I started the 5-stroke roll on my right. And I'm going to do line 3. R is begin with the right, then begin with the right again, then 2 lefts. So what I'm doing is I'm distributing the workload. I'm not forgetting the left hand. I'm attacking with the right twice. I'm attacking with the left. Or any rudiment for that matter. Let's take the 4-stroke rough. 16th note triplet to an 8th note, starting with the right. Now, what I just did, I started with the right twice because I'm referencing from the stick control book as line 3. Then I'm starting with the left side. That's the second part of the line 3 will be right, right, left, left. Right, left, left. That distributes the work. That's equalizing the right side and the left side. Do you understand that, guys? Where is everybody today? It's Wednesday. Maybe they're getting too much of a delay. I'm curious as to see how this comes back on the video, on the recording. Now let's talk about the turnarounds. The turnarounds is perfect for the weaker side. Remember we led with the right for one measure, and then we're going to lead with the left with the second measure. So on and so forth on one surface. Now you could take that same exercise and move it around on the drum. The turnarounds on the drum, right, right, and left, left. Now that's helping your left, and it's helping your right. Your attack on both sides. It's going to keep you balanced. That's the beauty of stick control book. But nobody's here today. I guess nobody likes double bass drums. It's 10 after 1. I think Stacy had another lesson with somebody, a guitar lesson, and Jimmy's bogged down with work, and what's his name? Homar. He lives on the other side of the country. You know, Michael Lewis is bogged down with work. So, you know, the lessons are here. But do you understand that? Do you agree with that? Tell me some of the things that you see in that book that are helping you, the weaker side. Robert, can you just post something? Tell me what you're doing. And I'll explain it to you. Can you do that for me? And those who are watching, please get in the chat. And we're going to do a whole lesson on maneuvering around the drums. For example, if I'm doing 16th notes, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and now I want to start with my left, right. Write something out. Give me one of his lessons and I'll explain it to you what's going on. If you will. But that's what I strengthen the weaker side with. Seth, do you understand that? Now, Seth, you have the PDFs, and I wrote it out with for one surface, and I just did the bass drums. Take that same thing and do it on one surface. Do it with your hands. I like to do it harmonically between the double bass drums and the singles. What you can do is do it on one surface. 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. 2, 3, 4. Now you can take that one. There's a turnaround with that if you want. I'll lead it with your left. Just doing the left, like the vamps. Isn't that amazing? For example, like you're talking like this. If I'm doing eighth notes here, and randomly just putting in a right, is that not the stick control book? You're playing against it. You can take a reading exercise. Well, what's really going to help you is doing this. This is the weaker hand. For example, if I took from the Stone Killer and I did 16th notes with my left hand with an accent on the downbeat of each 16th, like this: 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4 E and the. So now you're focused in on that left hand. So play the stick control book down. Okay, you're going to interpret the line instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You're going to interpret the line as 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and twice. That would give you 4 measures. So if I'm playing this and all my rights are going to be on Mr. Floor, I'm going to have 1 E and 2 E and, sorry. So I'm playing against the left. You already understand that. Now, I could complicate the situation and say, okay, make all the rights. You're interpreting 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and make all the rights, the floor tom-tom, and the lefts, the bass drum. like this. I mean, it's just there. It's in the stick control book, everything you want to know. Everybody, you know, like the stick control book. Okay. Well, what you're doing is if you do all the ostinato patterns left-sided, you're doing the same thing. You're distributing, with except of the downbeat, you're playing the left hand actually against the foot. So if I played, let me just do it, the first one. If I said, okay, I'm going to leave the right hand out, and I'm going to play just the left hand and the bass drum part, because that's what you're playing against. Okay, so on the first one, sorry. Or you could play it on the snare. It's actually the stick control book. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3. 1 E and the 2 E and the... You see what I'm doing, Robert? It's the same thing. It's all in Mr. Stick Control. God bless George Lawrence Stone. Where's Seth? Did he leave? Ouch. Now, did you see what I just did with the ostinato patterns? I played it against, I played 16th notes or 8th notes you could play. You could play 8th notes with the left hand. That's a good lesson to come into. We'll do that tonight, all right? I wanted to do 1 through 10, both right-handed and left-handed, so I'm going to go on with that. But you see, somebody's taking the ideas, all right, and putting them down, documenting them, because of the so-called visibility in the drum community. He's not saying anything different than anybody else is. It's because it's his name, so all right. Now, I know a couple people who studied with that man, and they all say the same thing. 3 words, full of shit. They're all the same, Robert. If you're playing against something, the thing that you're playing against has to be strong. And that's how you get the Stone Killer. The Stone Killer, we had that a couple weeks ago, a couple lessons ago, where we took the triplet, we accented the downbeat, the first note of the triplet, then the third note of the triplet, then the last note of the triplet, and then we did the half note triplet. So you're playing with your left hand triplets, okay? And you're playing that sequence with the right hand, accenting 1, 2, 3, 4, then it does. Or you just, like, here's a good one if you really want to get into it. Get a reading exercise out that you want to read. See, when you come here, I'm going to show you all of this stuff that you can do. I mean, you're going to say 6 hours seems like a long time. But man, 6 hours flies by so quick. You say, that's it for today. You'll see. All right, for example, the one that you want to work on, you don't want to kill it, you want to work on it slow. Make sure everything is in unison. Like I said, let's just play 16ths with the accent on the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're giving me 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now, while you're playing that, you're working the left hand. While you're playing that, use your bass drum on 1, 2, 3, 4. But that motion is there, all right, against the bass drum. Now I'm gonna reference off the stick control book. We're referencing that off of that as 16ths. So the right hand part would be 1 E and the 2 and 3 and 4 and against this 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and See it, Robert? Now to the E and the da. 1. I mean, what more do you want? You got the whole 72 lines to do. And there's so many other variables there. Jake. Yeah, thank you, Jake. Jake comes over to my house when I ask him to. Jake is a former student of mine about 100 years ago. And Jake has a collection of the drums you would not believe. And he's refurbishing them and he sells them. Jake lives a couple towns away from me. Good drummer. Bad student. Just kidding, Jake. Anyway, Jake, is there a hesitation from when I play? Are they in sync? When I hit the snare drum, does the sound come to you in sync? Yes or no? But Robert, do you see what I'm doing? I'm only kidding, Jake. Jesus. Jake does a nice time. He's the one who suggested I change the heads from the ambassadors to the emperors, and they sound a whole lot better. So, is that all in the book? There is a delay. I cannot get that out of there for some reason. I don't know why. All right, what I'm going to try to do this afternoon, and I think I know the camera settings might be off, or the switcher. Let's see. Let me change it to another. Nope. I see. I got to change the IP address. All right, so we're on here. What can I do? There is a delay. Yeah, that's the reason why, Jake. All right. I have the switcher hooked up a little different, so I'm not getting it right. I got to rehook it up the way it was. This thing drives me crazy. At least you get to see me. Hold on. Not very much help. I think I have to do an update. See what happens. Thank you, Jake. Who's this? Jules, how are you? This is your first time here. We're having some issues here on the delay. There is a delay when I speak, I understand that. But my issue is with the stroking or the stick or playing. Good for you, Jules. Are you on Facebook, Jules? Here, what you want to do, I'm going to give you my email. Oh, I give everybody my email. If you email me, okay, I will send you in the beginning of the week the times and locations of the lessons. There's 2 locations we use. We use this one here at 1 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is my site. You're on Facebook. Are you in a drumming group? Are you in the drumming groups, the art of drumming? Join that group, the art of drumming, okay? And we could talk there. But if you email me, like I said, you'll get the time and location of the lessons. I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 1 p.m. on YouTube usually, and 7 p.m. on my site. That's this here. You're welcome to come anytime you'd like. Say hello to everybody, and everybody say hello to Jules. Well, get in the group. You'll love it. There's about 10 different groups I administrate. Okay, anyway, what kind of music do you play, and how long have you been playing, and what kind of drum set you have? Email me is more important too. All right, that MattPatellaLiveLessons.com is my website. That is every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tell me a little bit about how long you've been playing. Tell everybody. And what kind of music you like to play. We were just discussing a publication that one of the fellows got, The Weaker Side. And I'm just demonstrating all the things I teach to develop the weaker side. And in my opinion, the approach is a lot better than in that particular publication. Would you say so, Robert? You could be honest. All right, so we're going to be doing things open-handed from now on. And tonight we're going to go over 1 through 5. You're just a beginner. You're always going to be a beginner like all of us. I've been playing since I've been 12. I'm 74 years old and I'm still a beginner. I can't wait to wake up in the morning and say, wow, what am I going to learn new today? One thing I keep in my arsenal mentally is I am humble. I listen to everyone. If it works for me, it's a new idea. It expands my creativity. That's what I do. Well, that's okay. When you come here, you bring the book and we'll talk about it. And I'll show you exactly where everything comes from. What kind of music you like, Miss Jules? I would pronounce that Jules Wiesa. Is that how you pronounce it? Jules Wiesa. Hey, Jake. Any questions? Jake was on tour in Europe for a while when he was younger, but he got too old. Just kidding, Jake. Okay, we're going to do, to help you out with the turnarounds, we're not going to do them now. And Jules, please email me and I'll send you the PDFs if you're going to frequent the broadcast. I just did, making my left hand the weaker side better. All right, I guess that's it for today. Anything in particular you want to cover today until tonight? Because tonight I'd like to do a longer lesson with more people. But just to inform the viewers, I have two new publications. Stick control formulas. Okay? They're available on my site if you go under the product room, and you'll see it. Or if you don't want to do that, you can email me, mattpatella1001@gmail.com, and we could talk about it. That's one publication. This is like 188 pages, and with the book you will get the PDFs. And I expanded on the syncopation. The font's not the same, so I don't know if you could see this, but it's syncopation formulas. Understanding the difference between straight up and down and swung. Okay? And all kinds of variables. Good for you, Robert. Have fun at band practice. If you don't have band practice, I'm going to try to record it. All right? And I can maybe send it to you. It's not that the one at night's not going to be recorded on YouTube. This one is. I just hope the playback is a lot better than usual. If not, I got to try something else. Okay? We're all finished, Jake. Thanks for stopping by. You're the best, man. He keeps in touch with me constantly. So does a few of my other students. You will meet Jake. Well, in the beginning, when I started the broadcast, Jake, I introduced him to Alan Herman. And I asked Alan Herman to give him a lesson, and he gave him 3 lessons. And I filmed it all. It's on my YouTube channel. Okay, so, I don't know, man. Like, got 8 people in here. Only a few people are in the chat. I don't know. You should be able to get into the chat if you're using a phone. But anyway, Robert, if you can't make tonight's lesson, I'm going to try to tape it. I hope the playback comes better. We're about to finish, Stacy. Well, when you can, Jules. You know, it's the bandwidth, and especially today, I don't know if the problem is because all the kids in America, I would say 90% of them are doing classes online. And man, that takes away from everybody. The traffic, the bandwidth on the computers, it goes away. Even I have a high-speed network, and I have a high-speed computer, and I still having problems. So it's the abundance of people that are on the internet at one time. Jules, if you'd like, if you go to YouTube, these lessons on YouTube are recorded. Stacy, you didn't really miss a whole lot because I had more or less a discussion directed to Bob, and we talked about the weaker hand, the weaker side or whatever, and I give him exercises to strengthen that. So we're gonna go over that again tonight, and that has to do a lot with the Stone Killer and Stick Control book, and we're gonna do 1 through 5 left-handed. All right, that's the ostinatos we're gonna do, and then we're gonna do hopefully 1 through 10. So tonight's gonna be a longer lesson. So try to be on tonight. Stacy, happy birthday. What are you, 20 now or 21? You have that book too. Is it doing you any good? Anyway, Robert is considering coming to this little camp we're having this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in November, and that would really be nice. So far, we have Michael Lewis, Jimmy, and his friend Stacy, and if Robert can come, that would be fantastic. So, Robert, do the best you can, I hope. And when you sit with me in the studio, everything that we're doing makes it all comes together. Everything that you've learned so far, you'll see, and you could ask questions, and more questions will arise. And the more you'll learn, and you'll see it. It'll all come together. Stacy, I would say, I would stay, but man, I can't. YouTube is kind of giving me a problem. So I'm going to take care of that problem as well. But we'll be back tonight. MattPatellaLiveLessons.com, 7 p.m. Okay, Eastern Standard Time on my site. Now remember, guys, those who do not have the syncopation formulas and the stick control book formulas, please email me and we'll talk about it. All right? You're welcome, dear Robert. Good. You have a lesson tonight with Jeff? Okay. Well, do whatever you got to do. It's all going to be, we're going to keep going over this stuff. The questions will arise, and we'll take care of everything. Okay, guys? We'll see everybody tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so we'll see you tonight. Right, Stacy? Come to the lesson at 7 p.m. I can't go any further on here now. I mean, I can make longer lessons if the 1 p.m. lesson is on my site. I'm trying to attract attention, and the traffic on YouTube is pretty strong. And if you want to get notification of when I'm online doing a lesson on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Okay, guys? So we'll see everybody tonight.